We're going to talk about today. I feel like every day is kind of like a seesaw, and every day adds more gray hairs to me. So let's go over the context of what we're seeing today in the bond markets, and then we're going to go straight through. I'm going to hit every economic market that we can think of, and then after I get through the economic report, I'll start answering all the questions that you guys have. So this episode is going to be called Scrub. We're talking about stocks, crypto, real estate, and bonds. SCRB, Scrub. So let's get over to what the markets look like right now. So what you see on your screen is what I see on my screen on a daily basis. We have the 10-year Treasury, the MBS markets, and so forth. So let me just explain why I follow these. I'm in the mortgage business, so I follow what's going on with mortgage rates. How do I really know what's going on with those? Well, right here, what's happening with the bond that trades on Wall Street that is affected that creates mortgage rates. And that's called a UMBS. It's a mortgage-backed security. We follow the 6.0 because that is the closest to the rates that are out there today. So that's why we follow that coupon. It is up 20 basis points. So we might see a retraction in rates of maybe about 0.05. Nothing really to shake a stick at. You can see over here, the UMBS 5.5 is actually down. So some things they're starting to crater right now as we're talking, and I'm not sure why, because the market's basically just closed. So the U.S. Treasuries, they are down 0.06, down from a peak where they were just not too long ago of over 4%. So that's what's happening in the bond markets. Let's discuss or focus a little bit in on the real estate side of the equation. So some news came out today in the real estate side, and there was revisions to January's housing numbers. So what I want you guys to focus in on is here's what it looks like. And this is if you sign up for my newsletter, it's free. It's down below. You get things like this on a daily basis. I don't sell your data. I don't solicit you. It's there for your use. So you can see here where new home sales rose slightly after revisions erased the January surge. So in January, there was expected to be 670,000 units that were sold, and that got revised to some different numbers. So I'll leave this in the context down below. Well, let's read it because that's what we're on here for. In January, surging by 7.5% to 670,000 units, the highest since March of 2022. It, however, was only an illusion. The number has now been revised to 633 from 670. Big revision. Okay, so there's major changes going on there. And then if you look through here, February's numbers, a seasonally adjusted annual sales rate at 640 units represents a month-over-month increase of 1.1%. This is down 19% from the 790,000 units in February of 2022. And that's why I keep saying the reason for a lot of this is inventory. So if we go down through here, you can see new home sales. And again, guys, these are new home sales. It's not existing home sales. But the one thing we want to focus in on is how much inventory there is. So right now, there's an 8.2 month of inventory throughout the whole country. Median sales price sold last month was $438, and the average price was $498,700. A year earlier, the median sales price was $427, so it went from $427 to $438, and the average went from $522 to $498. So there was a slight reduction there. If you're confused on what the heck the difference between the average and the median is, well, it's right here. Or I'm sorry, it's right. I looked it up here. The average is the arithmetic mean of a set of numbers. The median is a number value that separates the high from the low. So median is right in the middle. The average is the average if you blend them out. The next piece of the puzzle, we saw that there was 8.2 months of inventory. So you look at that and say, is that good? Is it bad? Well, how do you determine that? We'll go to and do some studies on it. Okay, so what I put on here, and I'll keep my URL open on top, is I just went around and found, and this was the easiest one to read, and it all basically says the same thing. Buyer's market is 6 months or more of inventory. Again, we're at 8.2 months right now. Okay, so we go back to here. So we're in a buyer's market right now. Seller's market is less than 3 months. Neutral market is 3 to 6 months. So normally there's about 3 to 6 months of inventory. Right now we have 8 months, and that means it's a buyer's market. But guys, there's still multiple bids. I just talked to 3 or 4 of our clients today that are putting bids in on homes. Every one of them, I just hung up with a gentleman out in California. There's 20 other bids out there. So their realtors are calling in to check and see, is it a valid approval? approval and so forth. Hey, Jackie, thanks for coming on. I was actually going to email Rick earlier and I forgot to. I just got busy. So thanks for coming on. Jackie is a Jacqueline Smith. If you remember Charlie's Angels, nah, she's not the Charlie's Angels girl, but her picture sure looks like it. She's a realtor out in Arizona. So if you need any help out in that market, reach out to her. Rick Mahorn, he's out there as well. I had them on my channel a few times. I was going to reach out to Rick to see if you guys wanted to be on another show, and I'll reach out to you guys soon. Let's see what she has to say about Phoenix. Phoenix is back to a seller's market. Okay, so that's so wishing you that. So thanks for joining us today. Hopefully you find some value in this things. And Jackie's a realtor, so if you guys have any realtor questions, feel free. And I'm sure if she stays on here for a little bit, she'll be more than happy to answer those for you. I had a couple calls yesterday. People were kind of concerned about this and that and so forth. So I love when we have realtors and insurance people on here and stuff like that, that they can at least comment on the sides. You guys can have a conversation over there and learn together. So that's what we see. We see in here where that's where the inventory sits right now. The next piece of this is you also see new home sales at 640,000 annual rate in February. New home average price down 4.5%. And that reiterates basically what a lot of these other things are saying right through here. Okay, so that says that. So would you have to be, some people might come in and say, okay, here you go. Here's that downturn that nobody's talking about. Housing market is getting crushed. Guys, this is an average of 4.5% year over year. The numbers are skewed. The numbers are, they get revised all the time. And so I would just look at your local market. So if you're in need of a home and you really want to find out what the dynamics are in your area, reach out to a realtor, such as Jackie. She's out in Phoenix. If you need help with that, I can connect you with her on there. But see, this is where it's really, confusing, because if you also go to Zillow, now Zillow has some data pages that are really important, guys. Okay, so how do you find it? My goal here is to teach you guys how to fish. Okay, we should have this be in the fishing channel, because like Jesus said, instead of giving you food, I'm going to teach you to fish. So what you do is you go to Zillow and you're going to hit research, and then you're going to hit data. You're going to hit the data field, and it's kind of hard to find. Go to the bottom of each one of these pages and you'll find it. Then you're going to go down, and it has all kind of analytics. You can see Zillow home value indexes. We can see forecasts, rentals, inventory, listings, and so forth. So let's just go through here, and just at the bottom of this, it gives you a bunch of cells. You can choose year over year, month over month. Let's just go through each one of them real quick, because a lot of people on this channel most likely are out there looking for a home or just looking for options when it comes to financing. But when you look at here, Zillow home value index, February 2023, year over year, it's showing Miami is still up 10% over where it was. So when you start looking at this saying, well, the average house price is down 4.5%, it can be really regional. It could be really, just basically microed all the way down to the area that you live in. So if you go through here, you can see all these places where it still has home appreciation, believe it or not. Then when you do go down to the bottom, you can see down through here, yes, San Francisco, San Jose, Sacramento, Austin, LA, Denver, Las Vegas. I could have told you every one of these would be on the downturn this year. How much? Only time is going to tell. We don't know, but we're getting some reprieve when it comes to the financing and the options that you have when it comes to mortgages. So the next thing we want to look at is some of the headlines in the news. So here's my rant of the day. You guys understand where I always come in every day and say, normally it's the gas prices that piss me off, but today here's another one. We have Moderna. Remember Moderna? They were the saviors of all the COVID vaccines and everything, and they expedited a lot of this process and so forth to get approval for the drug. The government and our taxpayers' money went toward them as well to help them develop a drug. Now what they do, they're coming back to Congress and saying, we want to increase prices on COVID antibodies, or not antibodies, the vaccine. But I'm not a huge Bernie Sanders fan. I just don't know. I don't like the socialism, and that's just me. Again, no politics here. But over here it says, Bernie Sanders noted that the company received significant funding from the U.S. government to develop its vaccine, yet is now charging the government multiple times more than during the pandemic, including for the Department of Veterans. So they're gouging our veterans now, Indians, and our seniors. Okay, so you might feel bad for Moderna. So let's see, are they in good shape? Well, their CEO made 19.4 million last year. That's not that much. Well, if you really dig into how much he made, he actually made almost 400 million. 400 million in 2022. Should they really be raising the drug prices? Maybe he should just donate some of this to, or just donate a bunch of the drugs to the government and everybody else. So that's my rant of the day. Moderna, we funded them. We created this thing. We helped them establish it. We helped them get it out. We guaranteed that we'd buy it from them. And now they want to basically triple or quadruple or even in multiples what's going on with the drug. So that's that part of it. Guys, I will get to the housing market and all that stuff here in 1 second. The next piece of this puzzle is let's see what the markets are doing. Now, the markets are whipsawing all over the place. Yesterday, when the Federal Reserve came out and said what they're going to do, mortgage rates, or actually the stock market jumped immediately. Then all of a sudden it dropped about 200-300 points. This morning it was way up, and now we're back basically right now almost back to like non-existence. We see the Dow Jones is up 75 basis points. Hey, I'd rather it be up 75 than nothing or negative. And we have the NASDAQ coming off some lows there. We do have the VIX starting to go up right now. That means people are getting a little bit nervous, and we watch that. Gold is up just a little bit, and look, oil's back down on its plummet. But I don't know about you guys, but I'll rant again. This morning in Chicago, gas was $3.80. It was $3.30 last week, so it went up 20% in a matter of a week. And we see oil prices. If you look over here, oil prices are doing nothing but going down. So what's causing that? I wonder. Okay, so the next thing is, how is the market still? Are they still anticipating a Federal Reserve pivot? Now, guys, let's scrap the mainstream media. Let's scrap a lot of other YouTubers, what they're saying. Let's dive in to see where the money is going, where the big street hedge funds and everything are going in regards to interest rates. Because some people are saying, the Fed's not going to pivot. They're not going to do this. They're not going to do this. None of us know. We really don't know. But what I track, where's the money going? Not everybody's mouths. Where's the money going? And right now, this is what's telling us right here is that these are each Fed meeting that's going to take place in the next between 2023 and 2024. They're right over here. Okay, here's what it's saying is going to happen to the federal funds rate. So right now we're in a range. They're saying that we're going to be at 4.75 to 5.25. That's what the Fed says. So we're going to be right in this range. So they're expecting the next meeting that they're probably not really going to do that much, but I think there's still one more bump in line. But then let's look at it from there. Then you start going into June. June's numbers are starting to get at basically a 50% chance that we'll be back to 5% on the federal funds rate. And then look at it. It starts going and deteriorating from there. And then it brings you all the way down to, let's look at Q4 of 2024. They're expecting rates, if you look down through here, they're expecting rates to be about between 2 and 3% on the federal funds rate, where we currently are at 5. So there's about a 2% reduction in rates coming there. The next piece is, what in the world's going on with Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin is up, it's down, it's up, it's up 3% right now, but if you blink and come back in a minute, it's probably going to be down. So year to date, Bitcoin is up. Let's check out this. Look at this, or year to date, look at this. Bitcoin is up 70% when all the other markets are in the negatives. So you're like, man, I wish I would have put all my money in that. Well, look at this. I wish you probably wish you didn't, because it was down 34% within the past year. So if you take out, and we're only 3 months into this year. So the normal part of this, equation here, it was down, 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 and down. If you go here, look at where this thing peaked in the 60,000 range in 2021, and now we're at 20 something range right here. So it's basically sold off in multiples. The economic calendar for today, I don't really think there was much more added there. Let's go down through here. Building permits were up, which is great news for the inventory and the supply of homes. The more supply there is, if you have equal or a little bit higher demand and your supply goes up, what's that going to do? It's going to solidify prices. Instead of prices keep going up and up and up, and now we're seeing them down and down and down, is if there's more homes in the market and rates ease a little bit, and I think that's right now, you're going to see a nice little neutral in the market. So that's why I'm still not predicting a crash like Some people are. Initial jobless claims, these are how many people filed for the first time. And you saw that the last reading came at 192,000. The Federal Reserve is saying, the unemployment rate, we need it to go up. We need more people unemployed. How's that working out for them? Well, the last reading was 192,000. The expectations were 197, and it actually went down to 191,000. But there is a huge disconnect in the employment market. And then new home sales, new home sales, the last reading was 633,000. They expected 650, came in at 640. No big news there. So guys, that is the economic report for today. So please start asking any questions that you have about the markets. We can talk about stocks. We can talk about crypto. We can talk about real estate, and we can talk about bonds. Anything you want to talk about, I hopefully will know for you. I pride myself on knowing a lot of this stuff. I don't know why. I can't even tell you what I had for breakfast, but I can tell you all kind of analytics about the economy and so forth. So let's go down through it. Jackie, thank you for still being here with us. We have somebody. Jackie, how's your market out there? Are you still seeing a lot of people, bids? We just had a customer just call in right now, and he put a bid in. This is his 7th property he's putting a bid in the last 2 weeks. And the selling agent just called and said he's competing against 20, I think they said 20 other offers, and the average person was putting 50% down. So if you're thinking that's a cooling off market, I don't know what a hot market is. So if you can answer that, I'd love that. But more inventory is coming on the market in Boise, Idaho, but prices aren't falling quickly enough. Why is that? That's a great question. Boise, Idaho, that is a conundrum to me, because I had a young lady on here last year who's a realtor out there, and your market was smoking hot for the longest time. But let me read. More inventory is coming on the market in Boise, but prices aren't falling. There's not enough, but think of it this way. Just think of supply demand just in general. So the more supply you have, it should give you more options. Okay. Why prices aren't coming down is, well, let's look at this. And I'm not going to guess here. Let's look at the inventory in Boise, Idaho. So if you go to Zillow's, and let's go up to this equation here. Let's look at inventory, and let's see if Boise, Idaho is on here. So let's see. Boise, Idaho, right here. Your inventory is really slim, okay? And that's why it's that. Look at some of these other areas where the inventory is way up there. You're basically at 50% capacity, or about a little over 50. Let's say it's 60% of the norm that you're normally looking at in inventory. So until this inventory really starts to build, you're not going to really see a reprieve in the number of, the prices of things. Let's go down to prices and see what you guys are doing out there as well. So this is where this comes into play, because I can't tell you, what every city's doing in the world, or basically in the United States, but what I can give you are the tools so you guys can look up this stuff up yourself. So let me know if you guys see Boise, Idaho. Boise, let's see. I'm just looking for the Idaho piece. Boise. I don't see it in here for some reason. Unless I missed it. Let me go through it one more time. Boise. If anybody sees it, give me a yell. But I don't see it on this chart, so I can't help you there. Boise. It's weird that isn't there. So let's go up to see if there's anything else. Inventory. Inventory, I think that's what we looked at. But I want to look at inventory and new listings and new home pendings. So this is one of the things I would suggest you do. I forget who asked this question. Let me go back through. And I don't mean to be beating a dead horse up. Patrick, this is why, we use these tools. So if you go to Boise, I'm not seeing you guys on the map other than in that one section. But if you're looking out there and you need help finding a house in Boise, let me know. I have a fantastic realtor out there for you as well, but I don't see it on here. But these are the tools that I was trying to show you to say, you can go down and you can dig in listing and sales prices, inventory. You can go through here month over month over month. I can download it as an Excel spreadsheet, but I don't want to do that while we're on here because I want to get to more and more questions. But thanks, Patrick, for that question. But just think of it as economics. The more supply you have, the more you need more and more supply because the demand's there. What it's telling me is why prices aren't going down. It's just a supply demand chart. If you got more supply, you would have more equilibrium in your market and the prices will stagnate and start to come back down a little bit. But I still can't find how you guys aren't really getting, you're one of the areas that I thought would actually get kind of crushed in 23 and 24. and it seems like though you're holding values right now, which is fantastic. So let's go to Jackie. Jackie probably is going to have some good insight on us for us. Depends on the area. 20 is not average here, but seeing 3 to 5 isn't out of the norm. Sadly, I got to run now and sign to my attention. Okay. Thanks for joining us, Jackie. But she could say there's 3 to 5 basically bids on every property that gets listed out in the Arizona area. She's in a nice market. It's a very well established market. So in her buyers, even out there in a hot market. And you guys got to remember too, it's March. The normal time of the year when things really, really heat up is starting in May. So people start getting in positions in March and April to buy a house. But the main times of the year to buy are usually June through August or September. And that's the hot time and really active times of the months. So if you're a buyer out there, that's when more and more houses are going to come to market. But unfortunately, waiting for that time too, there's going to be more and more buyers like yourself in that market as well. So again, thanks for joining me, Jackie, on that. Hit the like button. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go down through there. But if you can follow what Jackie just said, guys, hit the like button so you can help us get found. Believe it or not, my live events are getting as much or more views and listens to than my morning videos. And another thing that's wild is I just went in, you can check me out on podcasts. I'm all over the podcast section because I used to have 2 radio shows in Chicago, and all those are out there, plus all my YouTube videos and everything else. So check out if you like podcasting, just look up Dan Frio in your podcast. You're going to find me probably Truly. Check it out, and I hope you enjoy those videos on your drive and everything else. So, but please give us a like Jackie said. The next question we're going to have is, hey, Dan, I have an income property, but I cannot seem to find anyone that will open a HELOC without it being my primary residency. Would I have to move back in the house for 6 months? I live in California. We have a HELOC program. Let me see if there's, you know what, do me a favor if you would. Let me pop up my email address on here. And let's see, where is it on this thing? I think it's in my captions. Let's see, show there. That is my email address. If you would, shoot me an email with that question, please. I'll do all my research and get back with you ASAP, and it's not going to take me a couple days. Probably give me an hour after the show, and I'll get back with you and let you know if I can find you any options. We are a licensed real broker or mortgage advisor throughout the entire country, so if I can find it for you, I'll be more than happy to take care of that for you. But that is my email address right there, and I'll keep it up on the screen. Let's see how that goes with the rest of my chats. Let's go to the next one. The last thing, let's see, Jackie posted, I think, right before she left. One last thing here. While much of our area is back to seller market, the outskirts like Buckeye, Maricopa, where new builders are starting to buy market, but heading towards a seller's market again. So that's good information to have. This is why you get a realtor, because they can pinpoint the areas that are best for you guys to find a house in. Let me give you some tidbits on a realtor. Okay, what does a realtor do? Do you need a realtor when you're buying a house? My answer to that is yes. And here's why. And I'm going to say yes with an emphasis. Why do you need one? Well, the first thing is you might be thinking is, I don't really want to spend the money on a realtor. Well, when you're buying a property, you're not spending the money on a realtor. The sellers, the people selling the house pays all the commissions during that property sale. So if you're buying a house, please use a realtor. The good thing is there, or the thing to watch for is make sure you get a good realtor, not one that just freelances when they kind of need an extra paycheck or anything. I want you to get involved with somebody that this is their passion. This is what they do. They need to be on the team. If you don't have a realtor, please email us, call us, do whatever you need to do. We have a service where we vet realtors all over the country, and we can offer that service to you. You don't have to use these people, but if you're moving out of state or to an area you don't know, why not use a realtor? Because they're going to do this. They're going to help you find a house, and there's no cost to you. But they're also going to have inventory that you don't know about. Like, for example, RE/MAX. A lot of lenders work at RE/MAX. RE/MAX has a whole data list of houses that they can intersell between agents before it even hits the market. So you're missing out on a slew of homes that are out on the market that you probably don't even know about. And if you're watching Realtor.com and Zillow and those areas, you're never going to be able to find a house, because if it's a gem out there that you're looking for, by the time you find it on that, it's already been scrubbed by 100 other people and the realtors to their preferred clients. So that's one area to please be careful of. So if you're looking to buy a house, I would highly suggest reaching out to a realtor or reaching out to us. We can help vet those in any area that you're looking for in the United States. So thank you again. Builders are still heading toward a seller's market. Okay, thanks so much there. One last thing, that was Jackie. Next one we got to go to is sending one now. So thank you so much on that. Patrick, let's see what you have. Why is some places getting more inventory over other cities or stays? It's just everything is here. Here's the frustrating thing about when you watch a lot of videos of people here. Let me just pull up myself on the screen so you guys can see me. Here's the tough thing is when you're watching mainstream media and so forth, they're telling you here the markets are crashing or this market's doing that or this market's doing that. It probably has nothing to do with your local market. Okay. Your local market's going to consist of, why did, Austin do so well in the last 2 years, where other areas, they were up 10, 20, 30% over a year and a half period, 2 year period. Other places might have been up 10%. Why? Well, it's just the logistics of the place, the supply demand of the place, the amenities in that area. Can you find a good house? What are the taxes like? Is your area driving or pulling in people or driving them out? We have slews of people getting out of California, going to Colorado, Arizona, Texas, all over the country. So that's what actually created this service that we're offering people, where we can vet realtors for you, because we have a ton of people that were leaving California and they keep saying, well, how do I, you pre-approved me, now what? I'm like, well, now you got to go find a realtor. And they're like, well, how do I do that? And it was really complicated. So we put together a service where we can help you guys vet those realtors. So you can just call in the 800 number. We can help you do that. We can help you get pre-approved. Even if you're not using us for the real estate, the mortgage part, which I hope you are, is we can still help you vet realtors out there. And so, but thank you. So, and I promise you, I will email you back as soon as I get done with this video. The next one, I need good realtor in Boise. You know any? Yes, sir. So if you would just email me, I'll put my email back up there again, and that is my email address. Please email me. I'll get you synced up with a realtor or our advisor on that. What he's going to do is he'll call you, or you can call him, go through all the stuff that you're looking for, what you want to do, where you're looking to buy and everything. And that person, probably within 24 to 48 to 72 hours, will vet realtors for you and sync you up with a realtor out in that area. So that is that part of it. If you guys have any more questions, please feel free to put them in now. Because if you don't, that's the whole purpose of this video, is to educate and inform you guys everything real estate and throughout the markets. So if you don't have any other questions, I can sign off now, but let's just let's go through this one more time, give some people a chance to go back through and ask any last minute questions if they have it. So let's go back through the markets. Right now, we're seeing the bond market did close. MBS is closed up 14. We might see a little revision in rates. Probably not. It's not big enough of a move to really do anything. Let's go back to the stock markets. We can see those. That was Bitcoin. Let's see, back crude oil inventories. So we have the Dow Jones finishing the day up 75, the S&P up 11, NASDAQ up 117. Gold is up a little bit, 2%, and we got oil down 2%, making its plummet. If you look to right here to this is what the chart is for oil. And again, I'm going to beat this dead horse until oil or gas prices go back down under $3, because there's no need. Look at this. Every time the oil is usually in the $60 range, we have, less than $3 a gallon. So I don't know. I think we're getting really hosed in that area. Any top news that we need to talk about over in this area? Cash bonds, no. S&P, no. Nothing. Dow up 20. Nope, that is it. So any other questions? We got one more. I'll answer this. If there's no other questions after this, we will be signing off at that point. So if someone is selling a house with loss of equity, no issues with mortgage lates nor car payments, now credit card has lates and some closed credit card accounts with settled balance. So if someone is selling house with you probably meant lots of equity, no issues with the car, now credit cards has lates, some closing. Yeah, I need to know what your question is. Can you buy a house with that? Please, if you want, Junior, if you can rephrase that for me. Did you sell a house? You have a lot of equity, but you have some late payments on a credit card. I wouldn't worry about that. As long as your credit scores are, well, you need a 580 credit score or higher to get qualified to buy a house. You can, if you're a veteran, or you're here. Let me get this out of here so you can see. Let me switch this over. So if there are loans that have 100% financing, but what I want to discuss with you is, I think your concern is because of the late pays on your credit cards and some other things. Would that really hinder you from getting approved? Probably not. If you didn't have any late pays on your mortgage, you have decent credit scores, 620 or higher, you should qualify for basically any loan out there. If your credit scores are less than that, well, you need a 580 credit score to go with the first-time homebuyer program with FHA with only 3.5% down. But if you're a veteran or you're in an area where you need USDA financing, you only need a 580 credit score in most of those cases as well, and you can go 100% financing with no money down. So those are a lot of the options that you have when it comes to buying your first house. Or in your case, it's not buying your first house. I guess it's buying your second house. So that is the report for today. If anybody has any last minute things, please let me know. Yesterday we went for about an hour and 10 or 15 minutes, but it was a Federal Reserve day and there was tons of questions about that. But if you have any other questions, concerns, want to book a meeting with us or anything else, what you can do is go to therateupdate.com, and that's our website. Or you can go to YouTube and just look up The Rate Update, or you can call 844-775-5626, and you can ask any questions that you have. And so if you missed it on here and you do want, like I have some questions when it comes to buying my first house, what can I do? How do I do this? Please give us a call, because basically our conversations are just like this. You can also schedule a meeting. There is a link down below as well there to schedule a one-on-one consultation with us. You'll do a one-on-one and we'll answer all of your questions there as well. So last ditch effort, here's where rates are for today, or ended today. We'll pick up on that tomorrow, and I'll let you know where we go from there. So thank you so much for watching, guys. God bless. If you haven't yet, please make sure you give us a like, give us a thumbs up, subscribe down below, hit the bell every time I post a video. You'll get an alert so you won't miss any one of my videos.